Okay, so essentially, we're at the Canadian Tire again with my dad. He's getting kitty litter, and then he's gonna go home and watch the Buffalo Bills game, and me and Britt are gonna take the car and go and do some chaos. Because why the fuck not? We want to get the car washed at that really noisy car wash that's over there that goes, please drive forward. That one.
Please, car in park.
So I want to go to that one. Yeah. But we've stopped for coffee. Dad's going to go home. And then we are going to take the car. I have to go to the dollar store as well and get new salad bowls. Rosie suggested that I just buy more expensive bowls and they'll last longer. And I said no. And yeah, that was my reasoning. That's it. Dollar store bowls it is. Anyway. Yeah. You don't know how to open it? My dad just texted. Oh, look at that. Changing the game. Don't break it. I don't know. When you just learn how to drive and you still don't know how to work your car, don't. Don't. I don't know. The trick is newbie proof. Could you imagine if me and you were stuck on the road and you couldn't open the hood? Calling CAA, be like, hey, so something's wrong with my car, but I can't even, but I don't know how to pop the hood. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Your dipstick is hot. Not with your hand in it. Heading into the dollar store. What is it that Brett says? You gotta, to get the purity of the Dollar Tree. No, you have to go to the Dollar Tree to get the purity of the dollar store experience. Well, I'm not going to the Dollar Tree. I'm going to the Dollarama. But gonna go get those fancy bowls. There's only 2 left. $4 each. White and like a lime green. Or not lime green, it's like a seafoam. $8 on bowls, baby.
The pre-fill cleaning product is now being applied to your vehicle.
I didn't get the please drive forward part because I panicked.
You're too busy driving forward.
The pre-fill cleaning product is now being applied to your vehicle.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
All the windows are up, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, they all are. We have the 2 bowls. I have to wash them. I have to at least wash them.
yet.
I'm doing that now.
Oh.
My father can't hear when I'm speaking, so he just interrupted me to tell me that he hasn't washed them yet, even though I just said. You know? It's all gravy. Anyway, let's take off these stickers as well if I can. So these were $4, and the last bowl we had, that blue one that you guys have probably seen in the videos. I don't know how much you guys pay attention to my kitchen stuff. But the blue one, I've had the blue one for like 4 years. Sorry, I had to pause because Cruey likes to come up on the counter a lot, and I had to basically tell him no 6 times. I'm washing my sweet potato. We're gonna peel the sweet potato. So I'm making lunch. A very late lunch. It's currently 3 p.m. But me and Britt were out basically all morning, so we're having a late lunch. Last night I ended up like semi-batch cooking some chicken wings. I got a pack of chicken wings that had 25 in them, and I had them in my fridge for a couple days, and I did not want them to go bad. So I just, while on FaceTime with Rosie, I just cooked all of them. So we're gonna have some for lunch, and then we have something for like a couple days from now because the other ones are in the freezer. But 25 chicken wings will go for all 3 of us for a couple meals. So that's always good to have something just in the freezer, ready to be thawed out and then popped into the air fryer. Because that's essentially what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna make some sweet potatoes to have on the side with some mustard. And then these glorious chicken wings that I cooked yesterday. But I have to coat them in barbecue sauce. I know that barbecue sauce isn't great for you. I don't care. Because it's not like I eat the barbecue sauce every day. You know? So I really don't care if it's not great for you. Everything in moderation. I think that's like the whole point of my channel. To show that you can lose weight or maintain a healthy like lifestyle and a healthy diet by just eating whatever you fucking want in moderation. You know, yeah, you have to like take care of yourself, and like I'm not a person that eats chocolate every day or that goes and, you know, gets fast food. Obviously, I haven't eaten fast food in almost a month, but you can have, you know, those things. You can eat pizza for dinner. As long as you don't eat the whole box of pizza, you're gonna be fine. Or if you know, do have like some chips, you can have chips, just not like, you know, a bag a day. You know what I mean? Like everything is good in moderation. But a lot of people don't A lot of people don't think that that's true, especially when you're obese. And yeah, I'm using that word because it's exactly what I am. So I have my appointment tomorrow, so I can't eat anything or drink anything, including water, after midnight. So I actually had to ask them if I could take my medication because I take 5 pills in the morning, like including my birth control. So to be safe, I asked them because if I can't drink any water, how am I going to take my pills? And they told me that I have to wait to take my medication until after the procedure is done. So I'm going to be like hours behind on my birth control, which is not going to be great, but at least it's the beginning of the pack. I just started the new pack today, so it's not going to be like later into the month where I'm all of a sudden not taking my birth control on time. So I'll live, but... And the other day, I actually I was working so much that I actually forgot to take my medication. So my hypertension medication and my diabetes medication, I forgot to take them in the morning. And I didn't take them until like 4 o'clock. And I actually didn't realize I didn't take them at all. And I checked my blood sugar because I just noticed that I was getting like low blood sugar kind of feelings. And it was at like a 5.2. So that's why I didn't click in that I didn't take it. And then when I was making lunch, it kind of clicked into my brain that I didn't remember taking my pills. Sure as shit, went to the room, checked my little pill container, and my pills were there. So that was fun. But it just proved that even though I didn't take my diabetes medication, my blood sugars are still really good. So again, eating just normal food, whole foods, not doing anything special, just being smart about what I'm consuming. It does a lot if you just do the damn thing properly, you kind of succeed. I've noticed that. I am so happy. I didn't show my whole outfit today. My sister took a photo of me wearing my outfit, so I'll insert that here. But I'm wearing the new leggings. I don't know if you guys can see them. Yeah, sassy. But I'm glad because right now it is sweater weather. I was able to wear a hoodie outside comfortably for a couple hours. I didn't sweat, nothing. It was freaking beautiful. I was so excited. Just to be able to wear a sweater, you don't know what you have until it's gone. And I missed this weather so much because I am not a summer person. Definitely an autumn baby. But yeah, it's just one of those things, man. You just have to suck it up for those months. But the second I could wear a sweater, I knew it was game over for everybody who didn't like sweater weather with me. Because the second I can wear one, it's all I talk about, and then spooky season starts. So, actually, I had a coworker, and when I tell you this woman hated my guts, she really did. And it's because every time August 1st came around, I was yelling about it being autumn. And she's a summer baby, and August 1st is her birthday. So every August 1st, it was, happy birthday, oh my God, it's autumn. She's a summer baby. She loves the summer. And she was like, stop saying that. It's not, stop saying that. And she got really mad at me. And I was like, well, sorry. I won't say it around you again. I'm trying to be respectful. It's her birthday. But then I started doing it on April 2nd. Okay, those are in. Yeah, let's get the chicken wings out. I'm honestly just gonna put them in this bowl of seasoning because it's just seasoning. They can get an extra little toss. My dad opened the pepper out again. So these are the chicken wings that I made yesterday. The other ones are in the freezer, but they're beautiful. There's enough for all of us to have 4, which I think is more than enough. We're just gonna coat these in the Sweet Baby Ray's. Mix them up, pop them in the air fryer for a few minutes because they are fully cooked. They just need to be heated up. And I love caramelized barbecue sauce. I don't like it when the sauce just draped on afterwards. It's gross. Very saucy. Not the healthiest, but still good. So when lunch is done, I'll show y'all. This is lunch. Sweet potatoes and 4 chicken wings. Yum, yum. So we ended off our little drive early. I had to go to the bathroom, and I don't like going to the bathroom in public places if I don't have to. So we were driving down probably the worst street in my city. And this is not to shame the person. Honestly, I just wanted to talk about how sad the homelessness crisis is in my city is. Because we were driving and there was a woman. She was very evidently mentally ill, in need of some help, obviously. But I live in Canada, and it is impossible to get mental health help. It just is. It's actually literally impossible to get mental health help. This woman was in dire need of assistance, and I know that the police probably showed up and took her away without providing her the help that she needs. But we were driving and we saw a woman completely naked, yelling at a car on the street. Broad daylight. I was going to call somebody, but I didn't know who to call other than the police, because again, our resources for mental health in my city are slim to none. Like, I as a person who works and who has insurance was told that I did not qualify for therapy through the government. If I wanted therapy, it would have to be group therapy. I was not qualified to have any kind of psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever. I would have to pay out of pocket. My insurance covers some of it, but Britt doesn't have insurance. And she also does not qualify. Even though she's been diagnosed with several mental health disorders, she doesn't qualify for therapy. She'd have to go to group only. And group therapy is not going to help people like this woman. The homelessness crisis in my city is so bad that you cannot go past a single public park, government building, even going up the mountain, like on the little highway stretches. In the bushes, there are tents. We have like over 1,000 encampment sites in my city, and over 1,000 people that are homeless. And it's been like this now since, I'm going to say, for the better part of 2023 into this year. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, I constantly see, like, people on Facebook and stuff. Obviously, I follow my city's pages and stuff. And there are people cleaning up public parks after people who have been in the encampments have been there. And they are just full of needles and garbage, and like, kids play in these parks, or they're supposed to, but they can't. They're constantly evacuating these people, but the parks are never cleaned up by the government. They're never cleaned up by the city. So people who want to use the park have to go in and clean up the place, including all of like the drug paraphernalia, the needles. We as the citizens have to clean that because the city won't. After removing the people and their encampment, they just leave all the garbage. So citizens have to clean up the garbage that the city should be cleaning. It's just getting to a point where, like, I saw that today, and it literally, like, first of all, it shocked me. Not that there was a naked person on the street, but that no one else was fazed by it. Like, she was yelling at a car, and no one was shocked that she was there. No one really cared. Everyone just kept walking by. And so that was the first thing. I was just like shocked that nobody really gave a crap. And then I was saddened because all day long we had seen all these encampments and all these homeless people, and honestly most of them were high. You could tell just by looking at them, the way they were walking, the way they were sitting. It's just sad. And I just wish the city would do something. We have a mayor, but I mean, they're useless. I mean, I'm not saying that because I'm like a huge political person or anything like that, but like when you've seen the progression and there's been no word of any kind of plan to help these people, except like other citizens of the city on Facebook being like, oh, we should just send them somewhere else. And then the other part of it's like, oh, well, like, you know, where do you want to send them? You know, the supporters' backyards, and all these stupid arguments about where, you know, on what we should do about the crisis. But no real plan. It's been like a year and a half and there's no real plan. And we still have people in our public parks and none of the kids can go to these parks. Because, I mean, I'm not a mother. I'm not a parent. But I wouldn't want any child to be around that. Because, like, even people with animals, like people who walk their dogs to these parks can't even walk their dogs anymore. Because there's so many chances of them stepping on a syringe and killing them, kids and animals. And then there's all these people nowadays too in my city who are poisoning dogs in parks. Like, I'm sorry, what is the point in that? Like, I just don't understand how people are so hateful these days. But yeah, that's what I saw driving home. And again, it was shocking that nobody else was shocked. I wasn't even really shocked. Honestly, on that street, I wasn't shocked at all. And that upsets me a little bit. Anyway, I should be attempting to go to bed. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep. I have my gastroscopy tomorrow. Britt is coming with me. We're having my dad just drop us off because I don't know if he would be able to figure out the parking situation without getting extremely frustrated. I don't want to do that to him. So we got to get up anywhere between 5 and 6 o'clock. Sorry, 5:30 and 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And just get this done. And Britt's been very comforting because she keeps telling me, like, remember that you can just not do it. Like, at any point you can just back out and say, no, I don't want to do it. And that's kind of like making me feel better because it's bringing back that control a little bit that I'm losing. Because it's true. I can honestly just be like, no, you know what? I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to do it. And I know I can do that. And just go on with my day. So, yeah, everybody just wish me luck. Well, I mean, this is going to be a progression, right? So this is not like the end of the vlog or anything like that. It's not going to go into like what happens on the, it's going to, you'll get an update anyway. So if I can't sleep, it's museum secrets. That's what I'm saying to myself. Okay. Good night. Good morning. It's very early. I've been awake for about an hour, 6:30. I think the one thing that's killing me right now is I can't have a drink of anything. And, yeah, like food is never a thing. I mean, this early in the morning. So, it's fine. But we're going to be leaving in about a half hour-ish. My appointment is until 9. But I don't know where in the hospital it is. And the hospital is rather large. So I don't want to, like, get there at, like, 8:30 and struggle to find where I'm going. Just to be, like, late for my appointment, you know? I'd rather have the time to find where I'm going, relax, and just vibe until they take me, you know? Not as loopy as you may think, but I saw the inside of my stomach, and that's really gross.
She's lying also because she put her head back and almost fell.
I did. So I learned that if I'm not gonna do it again, I'm not gonna do it. But if you put your head back, end game.
Game over.
So now I get to go home, and they put my IV in like on the bone of my wrist.
You just cracked.
Was that me?
Yes.
I didn't feel that at all.
Gridlock in effect. Gridlock in effect. Gridlock in effect.
Gridlock? What's gridlock? Gridlock in effect. We're gonna Google that. So I'm out of the thing. They gave me lorazepam's cousin. I don't know if y'all know what that means, but I was awake for the whole thing. And
Lock the doors.
Oh, lock me in. Did you know that the inside of a human stomach is really gross? Oh. People don't know how to drive down here. Anyway, I've vacated the hospital. They asked if I need a wheelchair, and I said no. And then I did a thing where I tilted my head back, and I almost fell over because that would have been end game. But we're going to get coffee because I've earned the coffee.
Yep.
They told me I'm not allowed to use the stove because apparently when you're on lorazepam's cousin, you can forget that the stove's on. And then it's not like one of those things where it's like, oh shit, I forgot the stove. It's I didn't put the stove on. So I'm not allowed near nothing that causes fire for 24 hours. Thank God we have pizza. Because I can't cook nothing. But I'm going to go get something to eat, and I'm going to get coffee. That was the only question I had. I asked them, can I have coffee now? And she said, you can have whatever you want. And I said, that's a loaded question. Or statement, answer, something.
English is hard.
English is so hard. Anyway, bye. I just took a huge nap from like 3 o'clock until almost 8. I got 2 slices of pizza for dinner. I'm so glad I bought pizza because I was told at the hospital that I wasn't allowed to use a stove. I'm not allowed to like cook for myself, and I'm sorry, I'm not making these two cook for me. Let me just explain here. It's not that they wouldn't cook for me, it's that they can't cook, and it would just stress all of us out when I have that to eat, you know? So we got stuffed crust pizza. It's just hot, so I gotta wait. But yeah, I wanted to go through now that I'm like awake, I wanted to go through the process of like what happened when I was there, because obviously I couldn't film while in the hospital. I don't want to be that person that films, you know, while in the hospital, like around other people. But it was a really like nice experience for being a procedure that I was scared to have done, for sure. I got there with Britt 2 hours early, essentially. They have you go an hour early just so they can get your paperwork done and your IV put in and all that stuff. But I got there at like 10 minutes to 8. My arrival time was 9 a.m. and my procedure was for 10.
It took you at 9 though.
Yeah, they took me in to get my IV done at 9. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, before 9.
Yeah.
They took me in
It took you early.
They took me in at like 8 something, 8:45. So, they took me in and I cried several times, but I cried. The first time I cried is when they had me in the room to get my IV done. It was the moment they put the IV in. And then I was just explaining that I'm a crybaby, and that's my chronic condition. I apologize profusely every single time, because there were several times where I was just bawling like a baby. And then they put you in a waiting room when you're in your gown. Like, I was in my gown, and there was several other women in their gowns. But they had me in like the plus size hospital gowns, and they are massive, but I still took 2 just in case. I didn't want my ass to show, you know, and I just wore this dress, which is like the most comfortable thing I own. But I just wore this, And then, so I was like, only had my gitch on and my socks and my shoes. But they put me in these 2 plus size gowns. And I was like swimming in these gowns. So I was sitting with these other ladies for like an hour. Just hanging out with our IVs, and all of us had our IVs in. Like every single one of us. And so there were 2 other ones there. One of them Britt actually met in the hallway. Her name was Minky, and she was hilarious. She was saying how she was getting a colonoscopy. She started her colonoscopy preparation too late. And so she was constantly having to go to the bathroom. And then when she went, I actually flagged somebody down. I was like, she's got to go to the bathroom. She has to go to the washroom. And they were like, oh, okay, yeah, no worries, let's go. So they helped her because she had her IV bag. I didn't have an IV bag. I just had the needle in me. And then there was another lady, her name was Arlene, and she was extremely nice, extremely comforting, because I went into the room and I was crying. And I was like, I'm so sorry, guys, you got a crybaby on your hands. And they were like, oh no, it's okay. And they're like, we can see that you've never done this before. And all of these other women that were in there had done this before. And there was a lady in there, her name was Peggy, who asked me what I was getting done, and I said I was getting a gastroscopy, and she was like, oh, you're going for gastric bypass surgery. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I went through gastric bypass surgery 3 years ago. The team here is amazing. Like, you're gonna have like such an easy time. They're really, really great. And she was like talking me through like her stuff as well. And it turned out that we had the exact same problem and the exact same reasons why she got the surgery, for the exact same reasons why I'm getting the surgery. So I was like, okay, I feel comforted there. She was the first one to leave us, and then it was just me, Arlene, and Minky. So Arlene really kept me comfortable in there for the hour that I was there with this fucking needle in my arm. And she was showing me photos. I didn't have my phone. I didn't have anything with me. I kept everything out in the waiting area with Britt. So I literally had nothing to keep myself entertained. So Arlene was talking to me the whole time and showing me photos of her dogs. She had like a basset hound that didn't have any eyes. They had to have his eyes removed. And then I was saying how badly I wanted a dachshund. So she showed me the photos of her dachshund, who was all black except for his toe beans, or her toe beans, sorry, which were brown. So that was awesome, having like other people going through the same thing or close to the same thing. I think it was just me and another person getting a gastroscopy. No?
There was like several women going.
I mean, in my area.
Oh, in your area.
In my little area.
There was several women going.
And like it was crazy because like there were men in there too, but like the men were not sitting with the women. They were really careful with like not putting men in their hospital gowns with women in their hospital gowns. I mean, I wouldn't have minded either way. I don't care. Like, I had underwear on. I was completely covered. I was sweating in the 2 gowns. So an hour goes by. They call me back, and I instantly like get into panic mode. And when I get into panic mode, I just start talking. Like, I don't know how else to calm myself down other than to hear the sound of my own voice.
Oh
It doesn't comfort me. It's just what happens. So I started talking to this nurse, and she asked if I had any chronic illnesses, and I said, yeah, crybaby syndrome. And then she started laughing, and I was like, honestly, like I'm like, I have diabetes, but like the first thing I always mention to people is that I'm a crybaby. If I start crying, it's not because of you. It's not because of you. So she starts talking to me, and then the doctor comes in, explains the procedure. I was surrounded by just women. I thought the doctor was going to be a man. No. 2 women, like a nurse and a doctor did my procedure. They don't fully put you to sleep. At least they didn't for me. It's called a conscious sedation, where they give you a really strong, like basically anti-anxiety medication. They just make you chill out and you don't care about anything when you're there. When I tell you that that's not true for me, I fucking cared. Okay, I cared what they were doing. They put something in your mouth so it leaves, your mouth is open. So you basically bite on that. So there's no way for you to close your mouth. And then they stick the camera down. Well, actually, they stick the tube down and they stick the camera down afterwards. I think I spent half of my time there gagging. And that's what I remember the most, hating that so much, because I have a fear of throwing up. I don't know what it's called, but I have an insane fear of throwing up. My body physically won't allow me to throw up. But I was gagging for like what felt like hours. But it was, obviously it wasn't. The whole procedure took 5 minutes. And then I had my eyes closed for most of it because I was gagging. And then when I stopped gagging, I opened my eyes and I was looking at the screen. And I saw the insides of my stomach. And I was fascinated on one hand because it looked so smooth in there. Like, that's all it is.
You knew the smoothest part of your body was your stomach.
It's not my brain, obviously. Smooth brain. No ridges or bumps. Ideas slide right off. Yeah. But...
Only food slid right off.
Right? But, like, it's so smooth in there. And that's the first thing that popped into my head. Like, my stomach is so smooth. And then they took the camera out and they had photos of my stomach on the screen. And I remember telling this nurse when I was able to speak again, because she took the thing out of my mouth. And I was like, my stomach is disgusting. But I saw them also, like, in the camera, like, taking samples of my stomach. They had, like, it looked like a clothespin, like a metal clothespin attached to this, like, this very thin wire. And they grabbed my stomach and just went and pulled tissue out of it at the same time as they're cauterizing it on the inside. So I'm like, you took parts of me and you pulled it out of my mouth. That's creepy. That's creepy. So I remember telling them, like, my stomach is gross. And the first thing the nurse says to me is, you should see it when it's full. Don't want to. Nasty. So they then took me to the recovery area. I was in the bed. And took me to the recovery area where I just, like, kind of fell in and out of sleep a little bit. But I was awake. I was conscious the whole time. I knew what was happening. And they took out my IV. They put my IV here in my arm. You can see a little puncture, I think. Worst placement. Everyone else had, like, it in their hand or further up here. They put mine right on the bone here. So I couldn't, like, manipulate my wrist. Still really can't. It kind of hurts.
Well, the minute you tried it, the elevator area, your entire arm cracked. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Because I was in a position for so long. Yeah. Like, that's the position I was in.
You lifted up your arm and it just went, and you're like, was that me?
I didn't even know it was me. I wasn't, like, super loopy. I wasn't, like, super, like, ooh, whatever. I think for about a half hour, I sent my husband a video of me right fresh out the gate. But I wasn't ever, like, loopy or anything like that, like, to the extreme. I couldn't tilt my head back because I almost fell over when I did that. But other than that, I think that I was okay for the most part. I was just really tired, like, really, really tired. So I came home. I actually filmed a little bit for my booktube, and I ate something. And actually the first question to the nurse was, can I have coffee now? And she was like, yeah. That's all I wanted. We went and got coffee, came home. I ate something. I just filmed a little bit for my booktube, and then I went to bed. I went to bed around 3 o'clock. 3:30. And I have been asleep ever since, and now I'm having pizza. It's 8:11. Yeah, that process is over. And then I will get a call from the bariatric clinic with the results to make sure I can go through with the surgery or not. That's like it's just like the pre-surgical procedures. Yeah, pre-ops that I have to do. So that part's over though. After speaking with Britt and stuff, like I know that I said in my first, I think it was my first vlog, that I wasn't going to be, or second vlog, that I wasn't going to be really talking about my bariatric surgery. And that still is the case. But I feel like if I didn't talk about it a little bit and like document these little things, like these appointments and things like that I have to go through, I think that I would regret it. Because my memory is already getting a little foggy when it comes to this part. Like, and I know it's straight up because I was drugged. I'm actually considered impaired. I'm not allowed to do anything until tomorrow at 11:30.
They literally called you legally inebriated.
They called me legally impaired, is what they said. They called me legally impaired. But I'm not gonna, like, when I say I'm not gonna document my bariatric surgery, I mean, like, I'm not gonna have somebody in the hospital, you know, while I'm doing this. I'm not gonna have, you know, I'm not gonna be filming when I'm just out of surgery. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna show that stuff. But I think that I would regret it if I didn't kind of post a little bit about it. So I'll bring you guys along with me on what I'm doing and all that stuff. And then go from there. But I know that I'm going to keep some stuff to myself. Just because there's just some stuff that y'all don't need to know. Y'all don't need to know some of the stuff that I'm going through for sure. But yeah, that was my gastroscopy. I'm so glad nobody was around to film that. I was a mess. I cried the whole time. I cried literally the whole time. I just saw this on my arm. This is from the blood pressure cuff. They've popped so many blood vessels in my arm. I look a wild whore of a mess, for sure. Britt thought of this ingenious thing. So I'm currently hands-free, and I have my phone wedged between the driver's seat, like, headrest and the actual back of the seat. So I can just vibe back here. So we woke up really early. I slept a lot yesterday. Woke up early.
Ass crack of dawn.
Yeah, literally 6:30 in the morning. Because we had to run an errand. We had to go to the Walmart to get my dad's juice and something else. And then I get to have coffee. But I slept so much yesterday.
And it's crazy that you could still sleep some more.
I could sleep so much more. Usually when I nap, I can't go back to bed, but because I was sedated, I was good to go back to bed. But yeah, I am making chicken fried rice for dinner tonight because I haven't made chicken fried rice in, I want to say, over a year.
At least since March.
Yeah. At least since March. I've not made it in our current house. I haven't made it since we had that Amazon green pan.
Right. You're right.
So it's been over a year. But Britt and I were watching Uncle Roger yesterday, and it put me in a hankering for my own chicken fried rice, which is not going to be Uncle Roger approved.
No, it's not.
So last night when I was on FaceTime with Rosie, I made the white rice. So that's chilling in the fridge. Because you don't use fresh rice for chicken fried rice. Anybody who uses fresh rice, you're not doing the thing.
It's always
you're
leftover
not,
rice.
Yeah, it's always leftover rice. So I made like 2.5 cups of rice to make a lot of it. So we have dinner for a few days. Couple days at least. My dad eats chicken fried rice like you can never believe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Big
that's the
old
plan
spoons.
for the day. What?
Big old spoonful.
Yeah, he always says, I want a spoon.
I want a big old spoon.
I'm like, yeah, you're gonna get a spoon, but he wants one of the big ones. But Yeah, that's the day today. I have to work today, which is fantastic, obviously. Gotta go to work, gotta do my thing.
May or may not buy tickets to Beetlejuice tomorrow.
Yeah, may or may not. So we have a plan. We have 2 plans, right? So we want to get our nails done on Saturday. I am in need of getting my nails done. No, it's not like a dire need. You can really see it there. Like they're growing in, and they need a fill. And I have chipped some of the paint off of this one, as you can see, because I work very hard with my nails. I do. So I mean, they don't need to get done. They're not falling off. They're not chipping. They're not cracked. They're perfect. But they need to get done. And then Britt has to get a full set. So there's that.
Because I also haven't had my nails done since we lived here.
No, you've not gotten your nails done. No, you did once. You did once when we first moved in.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And then you started getting short nails, like just your nails painted. But she wants her tips back. Who wouldn't? Hello?
I do want my tips back.
So yeah, that's the plan for today. I have to make our nail appointment. But wow. So, original plan, okay? So, plan number 1 is we go see Beetlejuice tomorrow night. And then get our nails done on Saturday with the rest of the stuff that we have to do. Or we wait to see Beetlejuice until Saturday, get our nails done, go to lunch with my dad, to the bagel place we always go to, and then see Beetlejuice late Saturday night.
Which seems like a great idea, except that it's Saturday night.
Yeah.
And everybody is out on Saturday night.
Yeah. Saturday night is usually date night, and they're going to want to see one of the new movies. So
and considering how packed Barbie was,
yeah,
I'm not expecting like Beetlejuice to be that packed, because it was like, and they haven't really advertised it at all.
No, they haven't really advertised
Whereas
Beetlejuice.
Barbie was just
here.
in your face. But
Yeah,
like,
Barbie was everywhere, but
just in case.
just in case.
I mean, because Wolverine is still fucking selling out. Wolverine and Deadpool.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna decide. Who knows? Who knows what we're gonna do? I don't know. So I'll see you guys tonight when I'm making chicken fried rice.
Hello. So today we're making something I haven't made in, I want to say it's been about 1.5 years, if not longer.
I love how I always forget that I already said what I was making.
And that is chicken fried rice. So we're gonna keep that in the fridge because it should always remain cold, just so like you don't get like the bacteria that can kind of form on cold rice. And we're going to chop up these chicken thighs and then season them and all that good stuff. So let's get started on that piece. I don't even know how many chicken thighs there are in here. So we have the chicken thighs. My hands have been completely washed. My rings are off. I wish I had gloves. I don't. If I had gloves, I wouldn't be as grossed out as I am. By the way, if anybody has any tips on how to get this disgusting skin off better than how I'm currently doing it, please let me know. Teach me. Because this is just fucking gross. Anyway, we continue on. Alright, that's the chicken. Now we gotta get this going on the stove. hot, so I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit. I'm gonna pop the lid on, and we're gonna let this cook. And then after it's kind of heated up a little bit more, we're gonna add some soy sauce and a little bit more seasoning just to make it taste, you know, good. And then, yeah, dinner will be served. Okay. Chicken fried rice. I'm gonna taste it. Oh, it's really hot. Oh, I'm so happy. That is fucking fire. This is the end of the vlog for this week. It's been a short week. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this vlog, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.